Hello everyone and welcome back to Shri FC. I hope you all are well and you are good. Before I start, really sorry, but for the customary one, do hit the likes and please subscribe if you haven't. I'm so happy to be back again talking about Chelsea, the news about Chelsea, and a lot more stuff, people. So do hit the like, do hit the subscribe, and do put your opinion in the comment section. Today I'm going to talk about Mason Mount, Manchester United deal close, and also Mason Mount forcing his way out of Chelsea. Is he a proper Chelsea? Kai Havertz to Arsenal, very close. Medical schedule for next week. Moses Caicedo deal getting a bit stuck because Chelsea have to sell a lot of players and it's becoming a problem. Nicolas Jackson is close to becoming a Chelsea player, and Mateo Kovacic is on the verge of joining Guardiola's side. And big up to one of us. Thank you so much for your support the channel. I'm very good, bro. What about you, bro? And everyone in the chat, I hope you all are well and you're good. Please do hit the likes, and it's time to start with the first news. And we're slowly going to burn. We are slowly going to burn. We're going to go with a bit more less big news. Then we're going to go with big one. And United Road in the chat. Big up Anshuman Bhai. So good to see you. And people do go to United Road and do subscribe. Some great Manchester United content there. And you will see Anshuman Bhai giving a lot of opinion on Mason Mount going to Manchester United because it's really close now. It will be done most probably in a week, and Mason Mount will be a new Manchester United player. So congrats on that, Anshuman Bhai, and I think he'll do a good job for you. So the first news is from CFC Pies from Fabrizio Romano. That is Hudson Odoi has been approached by two Saudi clubs, and for people who were crying, Chelsea are being sponsored by Saudi, Chelsea are doing illegal things. I'm sorry, but Gary Neville really telling something without facts. Is already come by the report that Chelsea has submitted to the Premier League that it's all legal and they've done nothing wrong. So you can take that, Gary Neville, you can take that and shove it because you have no respect of Chelsea. You really just spout absolute shite without no knowledge. Just go and control yourself or don't speak anything about Chelsea. And now, for our own tears, Hudson Odoi is being approached by the Saudi club. Is that guy still at Chelsea? The Rainbow, he is at Chelsea. He is at Chelsea right now. And Mateo Kovacic, 25 million is a bargain. I do agree, bro. And I'll come on Kovacic later in the video, bro. So do hit the likes, people. And on Hudson Odoi, see, Darren Bhai, the thing is, it makes me a bit sad. Being really honest, Darren Bhai, just say, like, if we say in Hindi, I will say, toot gaya. Like, he was such a good talent that came out of Chelsea Academy. He was doing so well under Maurizio Sarri. But proper Chelsea came in between. Sarri ball, really embarrassing human being like that, which was embarrassing. Sarri was right. Hudson Odoi is a young 18-year-old who needs 3 to 4 years time to be at the right place. We cannot straight away make him to the top player. We have to give him some time. But Chelsea fans, we are the experts. He has to play now. He is the next Eden Hazard. And what happened? Sadly, he just wasn't ready. And unnecessary pressure was put on him. Bayern Munich link, Chelsea paid big wages to him. And that already became a problem for a player who was so unproven. And then that Boehly match, I will never ever forget. That was very sad injury. And just like Ruben Loftus in the friendly in the season later, ACL injuries are career enders. And I think Hudson Odoi is a much better footballer than we see right now. But ACL injury really just put a dent on his career. He's such a good talent. And that was destroyed. A bit of his attitude was also not right. He went there. He came back. He did well under Frank Lampard in the initial phases. And then again, he was just fully gone. And Chelsea rightfully loaned him to Leverkusen. We thought Bundesliga is an easy league. He struggled again. I think, to be really honest, if it's up to me, I will rather Hudson Odoi go to Strasbourg, get some loan, get some development, and if in future we can sell him, good enough. And if he grows and becomes some squad player, then good enough. But right now, we just need to try to sell him. Noah's talking about a certain post. Oh my God, they're very angry. Neville was talking about a probe done and given clean sheet. Anyone looking from outside, it looked very shady, not gonna lie. No one in the right mind will pay for. No, I agree, United Road. But the thing, Anshuman Bhai, is Gary Neville sometimes goes a bit too much on Chelsea, Bhai. Sometimes he really goes a bit too much on Chelsea, and that really makes me angry on him, to be honest. And people laughed at me when I said Koulibaly will be a flop on Ankit Bhai channel. Well, who's laughing now? Anshuman Bhai, you were spot on. You were absolutely spot on, Anshuman Bhai, and even I thought he will do well. So even it's a slap on my face because I was really thought that Koulibaly as a leader can be the person we need in the dressing room. But it turned out to be a flop. We have to be honest. Koulibaly was a massive flop, to be honest. And you're right, Anshuman Bhai. He was very disappointing. But hopefully, Hopefully he goes to Saudi, does well. I still think as a player in the dressing room, he was a good presence to have, but he had a very, very poor time at Chelsea. We have to be honest. And could have revived under Tuchel, but his attitude was goofy. I think Tuchel did try to really improve him, to be honest. Tuchel was playing him as wing backs. And then also some fans were criticizing that Tuchel is really harming his development. Tuchel is this, Tuchel is that, blah, 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 blah. And you see where he's right now. Tuchel was not wrong. So many managers in this league are not wrong. And Hudson Odoi, as much as he's a good talent, it's so sad to see him go at this light rate now. And he's not good enough right now for Chelsea. And that is why he's not getting concrete Premier League interest. Nottingham Forest were interested, but the story has flown away. And there are reasons for that. He's sad. He's just not good enough and not at the level it required. That injury really ended him. I really feel bad for him. But I think his career was really brought to end. I told Chelsea fans, you're buying a defender way past his bars. They jumped on me because they felt I was jealous of Chelsea signing a great player. I told them it's 2022, not 2016. And with that, fully agreed by. For me, I will be very honest and Shuman bhai. Even inside, I knew he will flop. But as a fan, you just want to give yourself that, you can say, fake satisfaction that it will work. That's the way it worked maybe. I was thinking Rudiger gone, Christensen gone. Can Koulibaly replicate Rudiger? Can he do something? But in my heart, I knew that it was not the right signing. I will be very honest, Anshuman, by people really did not even like my opinion that I wanted Nathan Ake. People were saying he's 40 million, you're paying over for him. I said pay 45 and get Nathan Ake. People were not happy. And see now, Nathan Ake is a top player we should have paid 50 million for. But again, we were slow. Our fans, again, not really supporting a very, very good player. Another Chelsea type of youth academy player who should be supported, but the fans don't want him. And we have seen where it is gone. We have really seen where this has gone. And that takes me to the next news now. This is Galatasaray are sending a representative next week to London to try and get David Fofana on loan. It would have been great, fully agreed, bro. But our fans just did not want him. Manchester City backed on that. And they kept him MC, where Nathan Ake right now is one of the best left back in the league. And what a turnaround. Galatasaray are sending a representative next week to London to try and get David Fofana on loan. This is why I am Romano's man. And I don't know about the source, but I can tell you that David Fofana is heavily linked to leave the club on loan. And he prefers to go to Nice. But Chelsea want to get him to the club that they've just bought in Strasbourg. It would have been fantastic. Fully agreed, bro. Utkarsh, bro. Fully agreed. But Chelsea were again so laggard and we pay the price for that. On David Fofana, when he even was brought by Chelsea, I already said in my chat a lot of time that he's a very raw player, a very young player, a player we need to give more time, we need to give more patience, and he's even more raw than Nicolas Jackson. I still think there's a good player in him, which we can see at Strasbourg, or if he doesn't really come out to the player we know, we can sell him for profit in the future. That's what Chelsea are known for. But I think Galatasaray are not a good club to send him on loan, no disrespect. I think we should be straight away getting him to Strasbourg, a club we have just brought. They play in League One, a good league, a really good league where he can settle, he can score some goals, get some confidence, show us some glimpses. And then in the future, we can see whether we need to bring a top striker or he's just good enough for us. And yeah, bro, like he wants to go to Nice. He wants to go to Nice in League One. Chelsea want him to go to Strasbourg. And Galatasaray are also interested to get him on loan because he's a very, very good young player. Shrebai Koulibaly for first 4 games was outstanding. The red card against Leeds United ruined everything. Uske baad वापस form में आया against BVB and Leicester, then again downhill. And that's, I was saying, Dhiren bhai, he was not a bad attitude like Lukaku or someone. He was really good overall. But on the pitch, he was just not at the best we know he can be. And as Anshuman bhai said, he's a good player, but I think has the legs grow and everything. He was just not able to play at the level. But Koulibaly is one player who I have no problem with him, to be honest. I really like him and respect him as a person. And that's sometimes what you need as a player. With Mount, we all are angry the way he's forcing it out and everything. I think with Koulibaly, there's a bit of mutual satisfaction and understanding of that did not work. But he's a good player who we might have brought 1-2 years earlier. That would have been more fantastic. And now, going to the next news. This is regarding a legend, Cesar Azpilicueta. Now, it really hurt me to see on this live video I had made last year in June. I said that we should not be extending the contract of Cesar. I love him to bits, but it's time for Chelsea as a club to move forward. But we extended the contract. Thomas Tuchel was sacked. And now it looks like Cesar was a new challenge as well. And even if it means we have to terminate the contract, I think we should be fulfilling his wishes. He's the legend of the club. And if he wants to try a new chapter, I fully respect him for that. He is a legend for this club. Whether he was made to play left back, whether he was made to play right back, whether he was made to play right centre back, whether he was sometimes even made to play centre back. This guy was a true legend of the club who on the pitch fought for the club, fought for the badge. I will always love Aspie. He's a true legend. He might not speak a lot, but he's a very good leader in dressing room, and he really knows what it means to be a proper Chelsea. He is a proper Chelsea. For some minerals and everything, this is the guy that's proper Chelsea and loves Chelsea. But being very, very honest, guys, I think it's time for us to part ways and aspire to a new chapter. He is not good enough at this level in Premier League right now. I don't think he has a pace now. He's such a good defender, but I don't think he has that same energy in the body to make the defensive tackles, to make interceptions, and also attackingly, he's not at the level of Gusto. He's not at the level of James. It's time for Chelsea to move forward, and that's what I will always say. I think Aspilicueta is going to Inter Milan, but Inter Milan want Chelsea to terminate the contract. That is where the problem is. They want Chelsea to terminate the contract. That is a problem. But if Chelsea agree, he could be a good player in Serie A. He's very good defensively, and in a more slower league, he can do a fantastic job. And Aspie can go here and everything. Fully agreed with that, mate. And Streets won't forget Aspie at left wing back. Yeah, bro. We won't, bro. That was some tough time. And क्या prediction है? Chelsea was a Liverpool match का. Manchester fan 3-0 Liverpool. Didn't he have some positivity? Is the first game of the season. Pochettino arrives, a bit of motivation, and being very honest, if Liverpool fan is in the chat, it's not a good summer for them as well. Since Mac Allister has been signed, Liverpool have not really gone on big in the market. They have lost on some targets. Liverpool's strategy is very unclear. The midfield is still very, very bad. And being very honest, Liverpool are not that great right now. They need to revamp that midfield, or else it could be another tough campaign for them. And Inter BSK wala, sorry for my language. I want everything accordingly to them. Like now this, I think we should be very clear with Inter Milan. You want our players, pay us the money and take them, but we aren't going to send them on loan. If you want Lukaku on loan, it is with obligation to buy. We are no more giving you players on loan. And if you want to deal with us, pay the money or get out. It's time for Chelsea to be strong. This is the same club that scammed us 100 million for this absolute ungrateful person, and then are asking us to loan him and terminate his contract. Are you idiots? If we bend over Inter Milan, we are one of the most weakest club in the world. We need to be strong. We need to tell to Romelu Lukaku that you're contracted to Chelsea. We are the one that pay your wages. You either listen to us or just sit on the reserves and do what you want. And big update by the rain, bro. UEFA banned Osasuna to compete in next season Conference League following the clubs involved. Oh my god. That's a bit sad for them, to be honest. But if that's true, if that allegation is true, then they deserve to be, and more punishment should be on the way. Madueke too just needs to work. But Utkarsh bhai on Madueke, he's a very young player. Like, our fans are expecting big things. But if you put the pressure on the guy to score 10 goals next season, it's going to be too much. This is why I made a video that Darren will remember. I think if anyone has watched it, I made a video where I said Chelsea's expectation have to be low next season. If we're expecting a straight away top 4, it's not going to happen. Mudryk rarely scores. Madueke is such a young guy. We still don't have a striker. I think Chelsea, as a fans, we need to understand it's going to take us a long time before we reach the level we want to. We are a side that really score goals. While Havertz might work at Arsenal because he has 2 wingers that can score 20 goals, Chelsea don't have that. We don't even have a player I can sit right now on the stream and say he's going to give me 10 goals. Just a second. Everybody just tell me which Chelsea player right now you can predict will score 10 goals next season. Please in the chat, do let me know which Chelsea player will score 10 goals next season. Jackson, Mudryk, Madueke, Raheem Sterling. If Romelu Lukaku stays, who is going to be the one to score 10 goals? No one. No one right now in a team. And that is the thing that we have to understand. And we have to really move forward. And Pochball, I really trust Pochball. Caicedo really trust it. And I think Pochball is going to strike the Premier League. But he's going to strike more in January, February, March. It's going to take him time to settle the squad until we sell some experienced players. Athletic club in UEFA Conference League, yeah, it could happen. It could really happen. And they are a club that overall always do well in European competitions. And Lukaku is a moron, just a self-entitled. He is the biggest ungrateful person I've ever seen in my life. I've never hated a player more than him. And that says something. For me on this channel, I never spout any hatred on any player. I respect players as always. But this guy is the ungrateful person I've seen. You are contracted to Chelsea and you are asking Chelsea to accept interbid. Are you our boss? Are you controlling Chelsea? Are you Todd Boehly? Just shut up, come to training, get your fat belly reduced and start playing for the club. or else you go to the under-21s. Absolute ungrateful player. And saw the England under 21 yesterday. Oh man, Colwell is so good. He is really, really good. And Nkunku, I think Nkunku can do that. But again, Keshabai, he's in Premier League. You have to give him at least half a season to settle Keshabai. For me, he's coming to a new league. I do expect Nkunku to have like 7, 8 goals, 9 goal season. But we cannot straight away put pressure on him in a new league where he will need time to adjust. So again, Nkunku can only work in Premier League if Chelsea have a good striker. We have right now Nicolas Jackson, who is a good young striker, but he's also very inexperienced right now. And the idiot from should know when a Samuel useless fellow has actually once said his name is not Lukaku. Oh my god, good one. Keshav didn't understand, bro. And me too. Shri bhai, इतना optimistic कैसे होते हो about pause ball? मुझे भी थोड़ा do. For me, why I'm confident about pause ball, and people, I'm going to give my opinion on pause ball. Why I think Pochettino can work at Chelsea. For me, Pochettino really followed his career from Tottenham. And when he became a Tottenham manager, I remember, people will remember Samuel Eto'o scoring goals against Tottenham, beating them 4-0. They lost to Manchester City the same season, I believe 6-1. They lost to Liverpool by Luis Suarez team 5-0, 4-0. And they were an absolute embarrassment under Andre Villas-Boas. They were really going badly. Tim Sherwood was brought in. And Tim Sherwood only had one thing: remove his shirt, throw it away. And that was Tim Sherwood. He came to the team. He had a tough first season. And then he slowly developed Tottenham. And by 2016-17, they became a very strong team. The rain, right? You remember the season where Tottenham took us till the end. That was such a good team. And they were so scary. I will never forget in January when they beat us 2-0 when Dele Alli scored the 2 headers. Tottenham were fabulous under Pochettino. Eric Dyer sometimes playing as CDM. Moussa Dembele, one of the most underrated Premier League midfielders. Really strong, really physical. With Eriksen, Harry Kane, you had Son, and you had such top players in there. They used to be so aggressive. They used to press the heck out of you. Danny Rose, Kyle Walker making runs from full backs. They used to be so good. And in the end of the season, people call it bottling. It was just that their energy came in the end of the season and they had too much gap to cover. But remember, they beat Hull City 7-1, Leicester City 7-1. They were fabulous. Now we should come to the Chelsea squad. Madueke, Mudryk, Enzo Fernandez, most probably Caicedo, Nicolas Jackson, Nkunku, Colwell, Badiashile, Wesley Fofana. You've got Kepa Arrizabalaga, young keeper, Reece James, Gusto, Lewis Hall, Cucurella, Ben Chilwell. What is in those players? Young, energetic, really charismatic, versatile, and players who can play Pochettino's high-pressing football. He's going to get them in the pre-season, going to get their fat bellies a bit reduced, and going to make them run so much that they will beg to Pochettino, please stop this training. And they'll go to Todd Boehly and beg, please stop this training, because he's going to make them run. Frank, and you can say most of it, Potter. It's not going to be like Graham Potter. We've lost the match. Yeah, okay, guys, you're going to have 2 days off. We have lost. It happens. Let's come back. It's not going to be like that. Pochettino once said to Tottenham players, I'm going to kill you. He was that angry. And I think with his young players, a 4-2-3-1 formation, man management, he will get the best out of Chelsea. And he's the best manager in the market in, bro, to get the best out of Chelsea. But as an Arsenal fan, Tottenham run was scary. Fully agree with that, bro. And do you reckon Nkunku Bellew celebration? I think it will be. I really don't know why Premier League should be not allowing that. And if they do, I'm not fully sure how can they do that. And now going on to the next news, taking a bit of chance. Lukaku is more shameless than anyone. How about he pays from his own salary? But he just hasn't got that. He's not grateful. He's one of the most ungrateful players I've seen in my life. And yeah, Gallagher might be a big player in the Pochettino. I know people are not going to like this. They're going to be angry. Why are we keeping Conor Gallagher? Conor Gallagher is pathetic. Conor Gallagher does not deserve to pay for Chelsea and what all. But he can be a massive player in the Pochettino. And if you want to support Pochettino as a manager, and with Mason Mount going, there is a massive chance for Pochettino to use Conor Gallagher in some matches instead of Nkunku if he has to give him a rest, or even both. Poch is a commander, not a people pleaser. Fully agree with that, Utkarsh bro. And going to the next one, this is long-term future secured. That's a good one. Just send Lukaku to Strasbourg. I think for me, more punishment should be put him to under 23s, and still he won't score a goal and will be just tumbling over his own feet. And now, coming to the long-term future secured, this is exclusive by Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have finally reached full agreement to sign Nicolas Jackson. Here we go. Understand Villarreal accepted Chelsea's to pay just a bit more than 35 million release clause, but better payment terms using installments, medicals being scheduled, and personal terms agreed. Nicolas Jackson is finally going to become a Chelsea player. From 2 weeks back, it was linked that we are going to sign Nicolas Jackson, and now Jackson is coming at Chelsea, and Jackson is officially a blue. There's more news regarding that. Jackson is in London and is having his medical. This is by Matty Moreto, but not being given by Fabrizio Romano. And Jackson will moonwalk it the way. He's a very good technical player. Like, if as fans we allow him the patience, he is a very technical player. So what was the point of letting Felix go when we're planning to sell both Mount and Havertz? He clearly loves the club more than two. But bro, the problem therein, bro, is Felix was going to cost 90 million. And with Felix, bro, we have same problem. Felix doesn't guarantee GNA. He doesn't guarantee goals and assists. We already have an Nkunku. Chukwuemeka can play that role. And even if you like it or not, Conor Gallagher can play that role. And Chelsea have to sign a midfielder to replace Kovacic, Kante. We still need a goalkeeper. And this is why I think we did not go for Felix, because Felix, in terms of goals driven, bro, really frustrates me. I love him as a player. He, as a footballer, is way better than Mount and Havertz. But Mason Mount's GNA is so ahead of Felix, so much ahead. And in big games, Mason Mount always used to come alive. And this was my problem with Joao Felix, which somewhat considered Chelsea being one of the worst teams in the league under his. But to be really honest, Joao Felix GNA attribute, bro, is not good enough. And another news regarding Nicolas Jackson, Nicolas Jackson contract will even be longer. It's gonna be 5 or 6 years. This is by Fabrizio Romano again. Chelsea's contract, big contracts giving, is not going away anytime soon. And Nicolas Jackson at Chelsea is gonna stay here for a very, very long time. And Chelsea's 8-year contracts are not ending anytime soon. And Shrey at the moment was willing to give him to us for another loan. I know, yeah, it was a true news driven, bro. But I think Chelsea have improved the installments, and this is why I think they agreed to sell him to us right now. At first, Villarreal were not happy with Chelsea's installments, so they said, if you want to pay us like that, give him to loan back to us. But Chelsea have improved the terms. Chelsea are paying extra 2 or 3 million from the release clause. So now Villarreal have agreed to let him go on permanent to Chelsea Football Club. And now, coming to this one, this is the one wherein, bro, 3 more clubs wanted to trigger the release clause, but he was clear. Only Chelsea, and this is another good sign that the boy only wanted to come to Chelsea. This is so good to hear. So many players, they only come for the money. They only come just because they're getting an offer from only one club. This guy had offers from 3 or 4 clubs, and he still choose Chelsea. It's very clear that Chelsea are winning over the young players with the project under Stewart, under Stanley, under Todd Boehly, under Pochettino. And it's so clear to see what Chelsea are building, and that is so good to see. And fully agree with this one, Keshav, bro. Playing for the batch is much more important. And now, going on to the next news, and that is regarding Chelsea Football Club have acquired a stake in Strasbourg. It's done, and we all know that Chelsea football owners will now own Strasbourg, a club in France. They are a good club to build players, and they are a good club to send our players to loan, to elevate them and also get some of our guys' experience. Now, some Strasbourg fans were not happy that we are getting owned by a multi-club model. We have to understand that. It is not really good on eye. Like, if you're Chelsea fans, we don't want to be owned by owner. That is another club under him. You always get worried that you're going to be a side story for them. But hopefully, we develop Strasbourg because it's going to benefit Chelsea. We can sell a lot of loan players there who can do well in their league, which can uplift Strasbourg. And in future, we can make them a top 7, top 8 League 1 club. And many of our loan players can develop there. And Shrey, do you see us replacing both Mason and Kai with Jackson and Nkunku? I think, bro, I think we are going to go for Caicedo, and I think we're going to go either for Gabriel Vega or one more midfielder. I think Gabriel Vega might be the replacement for Kai Havertz for me, as much as it looks like. And now, going on to the next news, this is regarding, again, David Otto Fofana. As I said earlier in the video, David Otto Fofana is wanted by Lille, Union Berlin, Strasbourg, and Nice. Fofana really prefers to go to Nice. So this is the thing I really said, that he wants to go to Nice, but Chelsea might prefer Strasbourg because their club they've right now brought. Chelsea have a control over Strasbourg now, and they will want their player to develop in Strasbourg, a club that is now owned by Todd Boehly and the Chelsea ownership. Felix and Dembele both are same, both of them pace, But when it comes to finishing chances in a big game, both of them are useless. And this is my point on Felix, bro. This is my only point. He's a very good player. If you ask me to watch a footballer any day of the week, is watching Felix over Mount. As a footballer, Mount cannot compare to Felix, but sometimes work rate in football, that final output is important. And this is where Mason Mount massively wins over Joao Felix, massively to be honest. And now, Shrebai, I've been hearing by our fans that due to a stadium pitch, which our attackers are struggling to score goals. I disagree. No, bro, in some way it is right. In some way it is right. It is not fully wrong, Doreen, bro. It is not fully wrong. Now, what is the problem with Chelsea pitch, Doreen, bro? Is because it's so low, you can only play counter-attacking football. Because the problem is, if you want to play high-touch passing football, you need a bit more wide pitch where you can play your passing patterns, your tiki-taka moves, and get goals. Now, if you see Old Trafford pitch, that really helps play good football because it's a long pitch, it's a very wide pitch, and you can easily combine. You can put crosses, you can really put diagonal crosses, you can put whipped crosses in between. But at Chelsea's pitches is very narrow. Is very narrow pitch, and the problem is width players do not get a lot of chance, and counter-attacking moves can only work better. And this is why under Jose, when we used to counter-attack, we used to be deadly because the ground is not that wide. But at Old Trafford, you get more chances to attack. So I do agree, but it should also not mean that attackers are really good. Kai Havertz is fantastic, but he cannot play because Chelsea's pitch is really narrow. No. Attackers have not been good enough, but our pitch also has to improve if you really want to become a good attacking football team. If we keep playing at Stamford Bridge, we need to keep playing counter-attacking football. And Strasbourg, Chelsea, and which other club in Blumco? Yeah, we are trying to take a Portuguese club, Rio Ave. That's one more club that Chelsea are looking to take and acquire some stakes in it. Now going on towards the next news. This is regarding AC Milan, and we all know Maldini was sacked. So the Loftus-Cheek deal became a bit slow because Maldini was a person that wanted to sign Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And it was Maldini who wanted AC Milan to sign Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And he was sacked from his job, Maldini. And suddenly news were coming out that AC Milan do not want to sign Loftus-Cheek. He was a Maldini's target. But now it's been confirmed that they do want to sign Loftus-Cheek. And again, this deal is back on. We all know that Ruben Loftus-Cheek got a standing ovation at Chelsea in his last game. And it's very clear that he wants to go. He wants game playing time. And Chelsea also cannot guarantee him playing time. So it looks like Ruben Loftus-Cheek now finally might be going to AC Milan. On Ruben Loftus-Cheek, being very honest, I'll say just one thing. I really love him. He's a very good guy. He has always given his all for Chelsea. He's a youth player I fell in love for the first time because he's a player that was first one I wanted to see him make to the team. He has got good physicality. He has got some very good attributes. And he's a very fantastic player. Under his prime, under Maurizio Sarri, he used to be so good, so physical, carry the ball, like what Mateo Kovacic used to do. He used to do the same things in much better way. He used to score so many goals. I can never forget the Brighton goal, but then we played the damn friendly. His leg got injured on a plastic pitch, and after that, he's not back to the player we know. He got a serious injury, and now it looks like we both need to part ways. But Loftus-Cheek is a player I'll always respect. And if you ask me, I love to keep him at Chelsea because he can be a backup to a Enzo or a Caicedo and can play in the pivot role very well. But I think he wants to elevate his career. Chelsea have different ideas and he has to go and we have to part ways. But Ruben, Chelsea love you, and Ruben will always love you, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And AC Milan look like the likely destination for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And Shrebai, I agree with that part, but doesn't mean our attackers could. That's fully agreed, in bro. Our attackers have been absolutely pathetic for the last some years. But I think as a pitch overall, we do need to improve therein, right? And when the stadium develops, we have to make a much better pitch, to be honest, if we want to play under Pochettino ball and attacking managers ball, to be honest. And coming to Hakim Ziyech one, and we all know the outrage and everything. Hakim Ziyech is moving to Saudi Arabia for 8 million and Koulibaly is moving for 17 million. So we are getting 25 million from two players we wanted to sell. And then Edward Mendy could be going to them as well. So we can literally earn 30-35 million from our three players going. Mason will give us 55 million. Kai Havertz will give us 65 million. Ruben might give us 5 to 10 million. Conor Gallagher, if he goes, can give us 40 million. So I think Chelsea are going to recoup some massive money this summer. So a Caicedo or a goalkeeper are very big possibilities. On these two players, I'll say one thing. On Koulibaly, we have spoken enough. And if people who has joined right now, we discussed on Koulibaly a lot back. But I'll only say just one thing. He is a very good person. but it just hasn't worked out for him in Chelsea. Could he have been better? Yes, but I'm not fully blaming him, to be honest. He's not a bad player. It just never worked for him at Chelsea, and best of luck to him. And on Hakim Ziyech is one of the most beautiful left foot when it at his best. You'll see his left foot is magical, but it only depends on when he wants to be ready to use it. Hakim Ziyech has been a frustrating player at Chelsea, has all the talent and ingredient, but sometimes the pace is not there for him to really go past the player in the Premier League, and sometimes the desire is not there. And it's good for both the parties, especially the way he played for the last 6 months after not getting the PSG move to go away. Thank you, Hakim Ziyech. Thank you for the goal against Tottenham. And thank you for the goal against Atletico Madrid. But other than that, he was just not good enough for Chelsea. And now, coming on to Romelu Lukaku news. Lukaku was valued at around 60 million by Chelsea during the Saudi talks, but it does not want to move. And this is another problem. Inter Milan only want to do a loan deal. Chelsea want to sell him. And Saudi want to sign him. But Romelu Lukaku doesn't want to go there. Now, see, I have no problem with him rejecting Saudi. It's his career, his life. But bro, if you want to go to Inter Milan's headquarters, tell their president to pay 40-50 million for you and we'll sell you. But we are not letting you go for another loan. Remember, you're not the owner, you're just a player at Chelsea. You're a professional at Chelsea. The way Romelu Lukaku has dealt with Chelsea, the way Romelu Lukaku has embarrassed Chelsea has been out of this world, and Chelsea need to make a big example out of him. But overall, I'm being very honest. I think Lukaku will again might be going back to Inter. We might agree a deal. It might be Onana. It might be some other player from Inter. I think we'll reach a deal. I think unless Pochettino really convinces him, which I don't want a player to be convinced. Lukaku won't come back to Chelsea. He has been so disrespectful. Chelsea won't let him go on loan. And I think a bit of medium point in the discussion will reach. But to be really honest, Lukaku is shameless, disgrace. I don't blame him for not going to Saudi. It's about his career. But the way he has been going on, telling Chelsea to accept the deal, I want to leave, not remembering that he's still the employer of Chelsea, is an absolute disgrace. Now going on to another news, Inter Milan are working on a self-funded transfer window and therefore cannot afford to spend money they don't have. Therefore, Inter does not currently have the possibility of buying Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku absolutely wants to return to Inter Milan, which is why he refused Al Hilal. Now, as I said earlier in the video, Inter Milan have not got the money to buy Lukaku, so that's a massive problem. And they only want to get him on a loan because they don't have the money. Lukaku wants to join Inter Milan, and this is why he's refusing Saudi. But my guy is forgetting that Inter Milan and Chelsea have to agree a fee before he can go at Inter. But my guy can never forget that he's not an Inter player now. Right now, currently, he's a Chelsea player, but the idiot just cannot get it through his head, which is another mumbling from him, to be honest. He just, on his feet, he cannot have a first touch, and from his brain, he cannot understand that he's still a Chelsea player. Absolute ungrateful. And Shiva, I'm seeing people keeping N'Golo Kante over Eden's and Chelsea legends. That I think both need to be legendary in a way. Both need to be legend. Both are some of the best footballers in their department seen at Chelsea. And Eden Hazard was one of the best, most technical footballer we have seen play for Chelsea. So any disrespect to him is not good. But other than that, bro, I have to say N'Golo Kante is a legend in his own way as well. And I think both of them deserve to be called Chelsea legends, to be honest. And Poch ball under Ziyech will just give up on. I think if Ziyech was under Poch, Ziyech will quit. He will say, I cannot run. Because Poch, demands a lot from his players. And bar the World Cup, I've never seen Ziyech give everything for Chelsea on the pitch. Streets won't forget 89 in Hazard, Cho, Loftus, and Puru Bartlu, man. That was such a good team in the end. But Chelsea fans still want to hate on Sarri. I don't know why. Shreya, I agree with that part. Yeah, I've taken this one. And now going on to the next one. AC Milan are talking to Romelu Lukaku representative about a potential summer move from Chelsea. So this is again out of the blue. Rivals of Inter Milan, the Milan derby, AC Milan want to sign Romelu Lukaku, and they are Inter Milan rival. How much he loves Inter Milan will be tested. Will he join AC Milan? That's the question. Will AC Milan be able to pay the fee is a question. So this is going to be very, very interesting, people. It's going to be very interesting. And AC Milan are talking to Romelu Lukaku about potential summer move from Chelsea. Breaking news, Chelsea 8 talks. Yeah, I think he's rejected it. But to be honest, bro, if let's say he cannot go to Saudi, Inter can't pay the fee, he will have to accept it eventually. Otherwise, it's going to be a massive problem for him. And Chelsea in talks will enter over a loan plus obligation to buy Chalobah. Pathetic. Pathetic for Chelsea. The way we are treating our player Trevor Chalobah has been a disgrace. The guy was brought by Thomas Tuchel under Chelsea. He was brought from the academy and started playing under Thomas Tuchel for a coach who never gave youth players chances. Trevor Chalobah, since he has played for Chelsea, has not put a foot wrong. The guy has mostly given you 6 or 7 out of 10 displays. He was better than Wesley Fofana for the last 3-4 months. He has always played well for Chelsea. Is a very good score option. Is still a very good young player. Thiago Silva most probably won't play from next season. You have Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana, 2 right-footed centre-backs, Colwill, Badiashile, 2 left-footed centre-backs, and you're trying to get rid of one of the players who in market when you'll go, you'll have to pay 60-70 million to replace. Why? Why are we letting him go? He's such a good player. Keep him. Why are we just letting him go? It's an absolute shame. If we sell Chalobah to Inter, you and me both are going to London. I think absolutely. Absolutely. Why are you letting Trevor Chalobah go? And I don't think it's up to Todd Boehly. I think this is a decision of the recruitment team or even the manager. But I will be surprised. I think Poch will love Trevor Chalobah. So it might be the recruitment team decision. But that is a disgrace. But I do want to give an update. They are saying that Chelsea want to insert a buyback clause which Inter are rejecting. So this is why the deal is lagging. But please, Chelsea, keep Chalobah. Please don't make that mistake, Chelsea. Please don't do it. Trevor Chalobah is a fantastic squad player and a good starter when you need a reliable player that cares for Chelsea and a player that whenever required has given his each and everything on the pitch. He might not be one of the best centre-backs, but he's a very, very underrated player. And hopefully Chelsea start respecting him and hopefully we keep him at the club. Chelsea feel they are in control with Caicedo. Caicedo has said yes to Chelsea, but still no bid as Chelsea are very busy with the Saudi deal. And it's 3 players advanced, so new communication and lots of contracts to check. So this is a bit of problem. And मेरा एक opinion था आपको हमने कितने players देते हो आप हमसे पार्टी ले लो. No bro, to be really honest, bro, if you would have said me last year, I might have taken Partey. But right now, Keshav, bro, the way he ended the season, bro, that was a bit bad, to be honest. He's a good player, no doubt. But the way he ended the season, I do agree with Darren Wright, but Darren Wright, the way he ended the season was a very big disappointment, Darren Wright. The way he ended the season was a very disappointing. He was so good for the whole season, but the way he played the last 6-7 games was very unacceptable. For a player of his caliber, for the player of his quality, you cannot end the season that way. And I think Thomas Partey's age is also not on his side. So rather I go there, get a young player like Lavia, than spending their money on Thomas Partey. But I do understand the chat by Keshav. And with Caicedo people, I'll say one thing. I think Caicedo deal right now is stalling, but we need to be very, very quick. Has Keshav, we all know the Declan Rice, Manchester City have come in the competition, so it's becoming very tight now. Declan Rice can go to Manchester City. Declan Rice can go to Arsenal. And because there is a massive chance of Declan Rice choosing Manchester City, Arsenal might come in for Caicedo. So Chelsea need to be quick. We don't need to diggle over players. And we need to act fast and get Caicedo. Once we get the deal of Saudi players over, once we get the deal of Mason Mount over, we need to straight away go to Brighton office, make it clear Colwill is staying, pay the money they want for Caicedo, 80-90 million, and get the players straight at Stamford Bridge. Pre-season is starting in 1 or 2 weeks, and we need Moses Caicedo to be there. And I think if we keep stalling, Arsenal, or if new ownership is approved, Manchester United will surely come for Caicedo, and we could be hijacked. So Chelsea need to be very clever and confirm the bid for Caicedo. It's tight. Caicedo should be monitored. Fully agreed, bro. I don't know, Keshav, bro, why you guys have moved away from Caicedo. I was thinking Arsenal will sign both Rice and Caicedo and you will go end-to-end with Manchester City. How have Arsenal not gone for Caicedo? I know Lavia is a good young player, but I think Arsenal are right now this much behind City, while Chelsea are this much behind City. A player like Lavia is much better option for us, but Caicedo would have been game changer for Arsenal. Caicedo, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, that would have been 4 fantastic players, and I don't really know why you shifted away from that. It would have been awesome, but I'm not really sure right now what's going on at Arsenal. Partey at Chelsea, I don't mind. He will be perfect for that DM role. Yeah, I do understand that, but his injury record and the way he ended the season and the age of the question. And now, going on the next one, Mateo Kovacic to Manchester City. Here we go, 30 million fee. And I think it's a good deal for both the parties, for Chelsea and Manchester City. Manchester City have got a very good ball carrier who they can play instead of John Stones sometimes. John Stones can sometimes play centre-back. And I think they've got a very good ball carrier, a very good passer of the ball under the Pep Guardiola, who's going to love him. I think Chelsea have got a very, very good deal as well. Why? Because he did not want to stay here. And I think we get the 30 million, we use it in Caicedo or Alavia. So I think good deal for both parties. I think Matej Kovacic will do a very good job in Manchester City. But I don't think it's the end of the world for Chelsea. We can also very easily go and buy another Matej Kovacic. And Matej Kovacic is a player who is so good on his day, but overall a very frustrating player on some other days as well. But if there's a manager who can improve him technically, even get him another level, that is Pep Guardiola. And if I was Caicedo, I would have rejected Arsenal considering I'm the plan. No, bro. I do understand this point, but I think he can play with Rice. Jorginho will be the backup with Thomas Partey. I really thought that Arsenal will play Rice Caicedo as a midfield, Odegaard in the number 10 role, and from the bench it will be Thomas Partey and Jorginho coming to replace them after 70 minutes. But Arsenal have just not gone with the plan. And Edu is in Rwanda, Shrivai. I think Edu, he has to be questioned, Keshav, bro. By being very, very honest, Mudryk deal, everything. If this deal of Rice doesn't go, questions have to be asked. Either of Kroenke, either of Mikel if it's his mistake, or Edu. Question need to be asked at why this is happening. Arsenal are this close to win a Premier League and these mistakes are happening at this time. So some question need to be asked, Keshavai. And Madueke here has said, if I play week in, week out next season, I will be in contention for a senior team call-up. I've spoken to Gareth Southgate and the door is open. Being a Chelsea legend, playing for England and scoring goals come with it. But I just want to be seen as a player that inspired. I want people to look back on my career and think, wow, Noni was unbelievable. I want them in my out. And this is why I have been very much in love with this player. His attitude, his desire on the pitch is spot on. He's still a very, very raw player. He still needs a lot of time and patience from the fans to develop. But he's a very, very good guy with a very good attitude. And it's so good to see. When in current times, you got players who don't care for the club, players who only come for money or just prove themselves. This guy has come in here and said he wants to be a legend at Chelsea and want to be loved and respected. That is so good to see. And well done to Madueke. He's got such a good understanding overall. And मेरे को लंदन जाना पड़ेगा केशव भाई. And Shreya, I love you as a brother, but don't you think Rice and Caicedo together is unrealistic? No, I do agree with that one, Darin bhai. I knew it was unrealistic. But bro, just let's say, for an example, Chelsea are in a title race. Chelsea go with Manchester City till end, and next season Todd Boehly doesn't spend the money. I will be angry. Like, Arsenal are this close, they can spend 140, 150 million. They are one of the richest club in the world. Their stadium revenue is so much. Why aren't you putting the final stones? Keshav Bhai will agree with me as well. Whenever Arsenal have come close on the final stage, they have always been let down by the owners. Whether it was a title race with Leicester, they needed to spend in January and they would have won the Premier League. And what they spent? They were this close to top 4. They should have replaced Aubameyang. Did not do it. So many times they have let down the manager. They have let down the fans. And now, when they were this close to beat Manchester City, they fell off because Partey fell off. They fell off because Saka played so many games that the boy got tired. It was time to replace. And they're only signing Kai Havertz, who could be a good player for them. But why not Caicedo? Why not confirm the deal for Rice? You have known from the start that Rice is going to cost 100 million. You're one of the richest club in the world. Pay the damn 100 million, guys. Pay it. You're a top club in the world earning so much revenue. You can do it. You're in a title race and your ambition should be to challenge for it. But Arsenal again, at an important stage for me, I'm sorry to say, have again thrown it away, being very, very honest. And that takes me to the next one. This is Mason Mount campaigning a bit of chat, not giving Lenson game. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, but Darren Bro, sometimes the manager wants to have a left-footed cutter, but Arsenal just haven't got the replacements. Like City can bring in Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Foden. Arsenal don't have the facilities for that, and that's because owners don't want to spend that money. Sorry for that. And breaking news, Mason Mount camp in the last few years have told Chelsea they're not signing a new deal. I did a video on this as well, and this is why Chelsea have dropped their price. See, people, I'm not even fully angry at Mason. That is Mason's career and he wants to do what he wants. These are the tactics which are done by the agents, which are done by the agencies which owns players for the contract issues, where they want to drive the price lower so they can sell to the client. So I'm not angry. I've always said, no player is proper Chelsea. Darren Rai, you are a proper Chelsea. I am a proper Chelsea. Ankit Bhai is a proper Chelsea. Match-going fans are proper Chelsea. Those people are proper Chelsea because Chelsea might be in League One. Chelsea might be in Championship. Chelsea might be beaten in the final by Barcelona 9-0 and will still sit here, cry and support a club. The players, they are professionally paid players who only see about their career and there's nothing bad in that because the clubs are same. If Chelsea get an offer for a good player, we throw them away. That's a reality. Clubs don't care about the players. Players don't care about the club. It's a professional relationship. But fans is not a professional relationship. Clubs will stay forever. Chelsea will stay as a club forever. It will be in 2200, 2300 era, 2400 era, 3400 era, 5000 era. Until the earth is alive, Chelsea is there. Chelsea will be there. And I will always support Chelsea. There's no professional relationship. It's an emotional relationship for me with Chelsea. But that is why I don't expect from the players. So Mindras and everyone, all people I respect, but they don't need to be so attached to a player, because for players, it's a professional relationship. And that's why I don't blame Mount. If Mount feels he's not being valued by Chelsea, I respect him, he can go. And if Chelsea think that Mount does not deserve their wages, they're also right, and both can do in their way. And that brings me to another one. And coming on to the next one, and this is about Mason Mount again. But taking a bit of chat, and that is, never say Mason is a proper Chelsea. It was always Reece James from day one. Yeah, Reece is something else. And Reece is a future captain for the team. And I did not take that one. Sources feel that the potential Mason Mount deal has to be completed by the end of the week. 60-65 million, they say, could be enough by Chelsea. And this is by the reliable Fabrizio Romano. And this was today only, but yesterday night around. But now, another big news has come. This is, first of all, today was by Tom Brody, that Manchester United are preparing to submit a final third offer for Mason Mount in excess of 55 million. And there's another massive news coming out. Manchester United have made improved third offer to Chelsea for midfielder Mason Mount. New proposal for 24-year-old England international worth 50 million plus 5 in add-ons. Previous MUFC bid rejected was 45 plus 50, and CFC countered it with 60 plus 7. So it's very clear that Chelsea want to get at least 60 million from Manchester United plus add-ons. Manchester United don't want to go above 50, but it's very, very, very clear that it could be 55 million plus add-ons. And I think this deal is close to happen. And in 2 or 3 days, by June 30, you will see announcement Mason Mount is a Manchester United player and Chelsea thanking him for his service. And I think it's very close to completion. And Bashir, I totally agree. But yeah, these injuries are a concern. I will never deny Keshav. Those are concern. Shreya, I agree. But when these players say, I love Chelsea, I want to retire, I want to do this, then that, then do. I think that's the players, bro. Like, I want to be very honest, and I'll do a full camera one. The players are owned by PR agencies. The players are told that if you say this thing, you are loved by fans. These players are taught about a receipt. That's reality. That's a reality. I can tell you a lot of players rehearse their interviews before they come. You're telling me, no disrespect, but every player that comes to Chelsea says, I dream to play for Chelsea. I love Chelsea. I dreamt to play for Manchester City. I've been watching them from my childhood. I've been watching Chelsea from my childhood. I'm watching Arsenal childhood. Nobody does that. Not every player is a Chelsea fan. Not every player is a United fan. Not every player is a City fan. They only do it because they're paid by agencies to look good in fans, social media rank, and love. Mason was clapping the fans in the end. And what were tweets coming out? Mason is proper Chelsea. Mason tears for Chelsea. Kai Havertz went straight to the dressing room. Kai is not proper Chelsea. Tear him out. These are all PR. These are all PR. I love Mason. He broke into the Chelsea when nobody was. I always respect Mason. Thank you, Mason. But he was not proper Chelsea, and no player is proper Chelsea. The only proper Chelsea are John Terry, Didier Drogba, Peter Cech, Giant Francozola, and so many more legends, Gullit, Roberto Di Matteo. But these current players, they don't come in that. You have to do a lot of legacy at Chelsea before you're called proper Chelsea, and hopefully fans stop using terms absolutely loosely. And that brings me to the next news now, and this is regarding the structure will see Arsenal pay more than 60 million with the rest made up in add-ons. Now, people, my final opinion before I end the video, and this is on Kai Havertz and will he work for Arsenal? And Keshabai, if you will agree with this as well, I think it's a good deal for both the parties, Keshabai, and audience who are watching. This is good deal for everyone involved. Kai Havertz is not has back players he played at Chelsea. He's still a very good young player who is versatile and can really improve, but a player who is sometimes complacent and a player who hasn't got an exact position in the team. So why he can work for Arsenal is he's a versatile player. Sometimes if you need a left footer instead of Saka, when Saka needs a rest, Havertz can play there. Havertz can play instead of Odegaard, and Havertz is 10 times better player than Fabio Vieira right now. Havertz can link up better than Eddie Nketiah and sometimes play instead of Gabriel Jesus. Havertz can play in a 4-3-3 formation with your Odegaard. Havertz can even play in a City formation type of, if Arsenal do it, 3-2-4-1, playing along with Odegaard. He can be versatile player that Arsenal have required for a long time. I know people are saying that 60 million is a massive price, but that covers a Saka backup, Odegaard backup, it covers a Gabriel Jesus backup, and provides Arsenal to play new formations. This has saved Arsenal money to sign a Bukayo Saka backup. This has saved Arsenal money to replace Fabio Vieira. And sometimes this versatility can help. And I think overall why it's a good deal for Chelsea is we get 60 million. We already have an Nkunku. We have players like, you can somewhat say, Chukwuemeka, a young guy who can play that role in the future. They have got young guys like Andre Santos. So we don't need Havertz. We need a goal-scoring player to be in a team. Because remember, we have no wingers that can score goals. So there's no point in keeping Havertz. So we get the 60 million. We bring us Caicedo and we improve our team. Arsenal have goal-scoring wingers in Martinelli, in Saka, who are going to give you 15 goals a season. They have Gabriel Jesus who is going to give you 10 goals a season. They have Odegaard who is going to give you 15 goals a season. So he won't be asked. Havertz won't be asked, oh, you need to give us 30 goals, 20 goals. No, he won't have the pressure. He has to link well and do well with those guys, and he will do. Havertz will understand, yeah, Martinelli is making a move and he'll make a pass. This is why he can be the versatile option Arsenal need in a title race, and he is a good money for Chelsea to sign a Caicedo. This is why I think it's a good deal for both parties. But why Arsenal fans are angry is only because Havertz would have been a better signing if they signed Rice and Lavia. But right now, Rice deal is falling off, and that's where fans are rightfully angry. Taking a chat before I end the video. Of course, Shrebai, versatile is what I got attracted to. Fully agree with that one, bro. And Hazard left. I cried for 2 days, but then realized that man truly loved us, carried our club, made us laugh. Could have after 16, 17, still stayed. And these players are playing with the emotion. Darren Wright, this is one of the best points I've seen. This is such an important point. People always criticize Hazard for the Real Madrid rumors, interviews. Yes, that was not professional. But Eden Hazard could have left Chelsea after 17-18 season. He could have left. He was requested by Marina Ganagoskaya and Chelsea's owners overall that Eden, please stay for 1 year. Please get us top 4. And then as a club, we can proceed. And the guy, as he always loves Chelsea, he stayed under Sarri. He got us top 4. He got us a trophy. And then left, leaving a club in a good position. We got a transfer ban. But we had top 4 qualification. We also had a trophy. And that is the reason we went on to win the Champions League next season. Because Champions League football that season was so key. Transfer ban, could not sign players, and having Champions League football was so key for the club. And Eden is a true legend of this club. And bro, that Eden was fantastic. On that note, people, I end the video. Before ending the video, I do want to give the shout outs, and thank you so much to Wanabers, United Road. People do subscribe to United Road. Manchester City fan, big up, and I hope Kovacic one was cleared. And Darren bro, thank you so much, bro. You are one of the biggest support, and thank you so much, Darren bro, to support the channel. Big up to Utkarsh bhai as well. And always a big up to Keshav, always supporting the channel. Thank you guys. And hopefully everyone has a great day. Please do like the video. And a big update tomorrow with Ankit Bhai and one more guest. I'm making a quiz on Premier League. It might be after 9:30, after India's matches end. So people do join. I'm going to have a Premier League quiz on this channel. And we are going to have some great fun tomorrow. So do hit the like, subscribe, and the bell notification button. Thank you. And hope everyone has a great day.